Okay, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to our channel. We have our guest here, Ipan, yeah, from Mr. Stacks. What's your account name again? I forgot.
satsstackerMY.
Stacker. He's from Malaya. He's from Kuala Lumpur, and then is one of OG from the crypto space, Bitcoin space.
No, I'm not an OG. I'm actually a newbie here.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Sorry.
No, nothing.
Yeah, before I start the video, can you share a little bit more about yourself, about your background, how you get into, dive down into the rabbit hole,
Okay, I'm actually a medical student graduate. I graduated medical school last year. So after I graduated, I'm supposed to go into housemanship, become a doctor, but I told myself that I wanted to take the year off because I wanted to learn something else, like not just go into the doctor life, because I know when you become a doctor, you're busy, right?
Yes.
So during the time, I got 1K, 1,000 ringgit as a compensation because I had an accident. So I wanted to invest in something. So that's when like I looked up all the options, investment options. There are stock markets, there all the trading options and all that. But my friend said like it was not profitable, so maybe you should try crypto because you have such a small capital. So 1K, I thought. So I decided, okay, I would learn about Bitcoin lah.
Yeah.
So actually, it's a long road that to get here because in 2015 I actually learned about how money is actually made on YouTube. I learned it about the history of money, right? There's a video that talks about the history of money and how money is produced. And I learned about the fractional reserve banking system. So back then during 2015, I thought, wow, if this is actually how money is made, then how does it actually has value? So during that time, during the 5 years between 2015 to 2020, I never really appreciated money lah. Like every time I had money, I would spend it because I was a student. I had scholarship. I would just spend it, never have any savings. So in 2021, I finally got myself to learn about financial education. I learned to invest. So it was really a fun journey for me this year, learning about investing and learning about Bitcoin.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, that's the part of your investing. Right? I mean, like, what was the time when you like is is Bitcoin only?
Oh, Bitcoin only. Well, first, I've heard about Bitcoin for quite long actually. I first heard it 2012, 2013. And I knew that it was like an internet money. I knew that, the goal was to separate money from the state. But during that time, I still couldn't understand the whole thing. Like, why is this coin good? Like, they could create just other coins. But only this year when I went into a deep dive on Bitcoin, and then I found Michael Saylor.
Yes.
Do you know Michael Saylor?
Yes.
So
Who? Who else? Yeah. I mean, like, who doesn't know Michael Saylor? Yeah.
yeah. Michael Saylor is a massive proponent of Bitcoin, right? And the way he explains the usefulness of Bitcoin was quite astounding to me. Like, he said how the way we are sitting on fiat money, we are losing 6% to inflation every single year. So if fiat money was a lifeboat and you are sitting on cash, you would lose, water would get into the boat. It is a leaking boat because you are losing 6% of your money every single year. And if you compare that to Bitcoin, which is a truly fixed system, there is no loss of coins. They cannot produce more coins than what is said. They cannot produce more coins over time because it is all set via time, right? The production of Bitcoin, it is in the
Yes.
code. So it is like you are in a boat that is the safest basically. So if you have money at hand, you need to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that was the first thing that that made me think like, oh, that's true. So I need to change my money from easy money like fiat money to a
Yes.
hard money that cannot lose value. So that was the first thing. And then
Yes.
second thing, one of my aha moments was like he said, Bitcoin mining allows the use of stranded energy. You know, like volcano in El Salvador,
Yes.
like waterfalls and the
Yes.
solar energy,
Yes.
like all this energy that are around us, it can be turned into money. So this is the first invention in history that allows for the change of this stranded energy, which would actually be hard to transfer. Like if there is a waterfall somewhere in rural area, right, and you
Yes.
want to transfer all that hydro energy to like the town, it would take a lot of money and it would basically lose that energy. But with Bitcoin, you are basically taking the energy right from the source, you are changing it to hard money,
Yes.
and then you can transfer that money to anywhere in the world.
Yes.
So that's what Michael Saylor said is digital energy. And I understood that clearly and I understood that easily. And to me, that was really mind blowing. So I thought like, wow, we could actually help the environment with this
Yes.
and not like the fight which says that Bitcoin is bad for the environment. Okay,
Yes.
and then there's one more thing. Third thing,
Yes.
it's about the law in Islam about
Yes.
money. So I read up a few scholars. They wrote a paper on how our money is actually riba.
Yes.
So
Exactly. It's all credit.
I can't say confirm because I am not a scholar in that field.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
based on my understanding, how the world create money is we just change a number on the computer. We just add another zero on the computer and you get money. And banks make money by lending money. So that is basically riba also. So I
Yes.
was thinking like, wow, why do we go about life accepting everything, but when you can go and learn these things?
Yes.
And I thought like Bitcoin is very different from our system right now.
Exactly.
And I feel that if there is a better choice in your life, why not go for the better choice?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that
fine. I
so
mean,
that
like,
basically that.
uh-uh. Yeah, that's three part of your explanation before about the riba, about the environment, and about the hard money, the system, the monetary system. I think that's a very reasonable one because we once we fix the money, we fix the world. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
that
the other equation. I mean, like, it's just inevitable, you know. Just people don't really understand the value, you know. But what they do, is too late. Yeah, already. Yeah.
true. I feel like Bitcoin fixes a lot of problems in our society. So that's why I'm a very big proponent of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like that's when I actually changed my Twitter, like from a personal Twitter account to fully on talk about Bitcoin account because I
Yes.
wanted to share it
Yes.
with everyone.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Can you share a little bit more about set stacker? I mean, like, you focus on DCA or is you said before that the proper way to DCA maybe can you share a little bit more about that?
Okay, so my Twitter name is satsstacker.
Yes.
So that's what I do. I stack sats.
Yeah.
That's what. So stacking sats is when you keep buying Bitcoin, you just add up the satoshis. You don't look at the price of the Bitcoin in fiat
Yes.
term. Like I say, like I have 100 ringgit of Bitcoin. I don't look at it like that. I look, oh, I have 1,000 Satoshi, something like that. So what I plan to do is just every time I have extra money, I would buy Bitcoin. So I would allocate a portion of my salary into crypto, and most of it would be Bitcoin lah. I have some other cryptos, but Bitcoin is my main holding.
Yes.
And I would stack Bitcoin, and if I make extra money, then I would buy Bitcoin. And when the Bitcoin dips, and I don't have fiat money, I would sell my altcoins and buy the Bitcoin dip, because I want to stack as much Satoshis as possible.
Exactly.
Like people would say like, okay, your first goal, you need to have 1 million Satoshi. So that's around $300, I think. Yeah, first goal is 1 million Satoshi. So Alhamdulillah, I finally got there.
Yes.
The next goal will be 5 million Satoshi lah. 5 million Satoshi, and then 10 million Satoshi, I think. Like, just try to stack as much as you can. Like, I don't look at the price. Every time I have extra money, I buy Bitcoin, because that is hard money that I would not touch until the right time, basically. So I think buying Bitcoin is one of the easiest method of investing, because it is not only an investment, but it's also a savings account.
Yes.
Yes, because there is money that will not lose value. Like, because when I see Bitcoin, I see it's a monetary network that is very hard, and the value is in the network itself. Like, you don't look at the price of a Bitcoin, 50,000 USD, doesn't matter, because the true value is in the network. Like, I can send money to you right now, and I can send money to anyone in the world without people telling me that I cannot do this, with no middleman. So that's what. So that's my strategy basically with buying Bitcoin. Just buy every time you have money. So easy. You don't need to look at any technical analysis. You don't need to predict where the price is going up or going down, because at the end of the day, no one knows nothing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but for the long haul, I agree with you, because stock is a better way, because the supply is limited and the demand is stay the same, and with the shrinking inflation, I think this the answer is clear. The Bitcoin is to the moon. Yeah.
Yes.
It's mathematically possible, right? I mean, like just supply and demand. That's why people have price prediction of Bitcoin, because that's the market works.
True. The price will continue going up because the governments will continue printing money. So that's basically it. When government print money, people buy Bitcoin, because people will tend to gravitate towards harder money. Like right now, if I said to you, do you want Indon Rupiah or do you want US dollar? You would say?
Sorry, what was your question?
Like, if I ask you, do you want Rupiah or you want USD?
USD.
US dollar.
Yes.
Yeah, you would want US dollar, because that is currently the reserve currency of the world.
Yes.
And it is harder money than the Indonesian rupiah.
Yes.
But if you ask, do you want USD or Bitcoin? Of course, people want Bitcoin because it is harder money. The people who understand it. So it will take time for the masses to get and understand Bitcoin. But I think over time, everyone will have to accept Bitcoin.
Exactly. Yeah, because Bitcoin is voluntarily, without any force, without any mandate, and that's why people try to learn every day with the adoption of technology. That's a part of our life. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I mean, like, I find it interesting when you say that, your argument when you say that, Bitcoin is lowering our time preference, right? I mean, we think about our future rather than instant gratification, right? I mean, like, can you elaborate a little bit more about low time preference? And because low time preference makes is so relevant with Muslim style, right?
Yep. Okay, about time preference. So this is all I basically read on the Bitcoin standard lah. It's not
Yeah.
something I made up.
Yeah.
So basically what having a low time preference mean, you are working right now, you want to accumulate capital, so in the future you would get a bigger gain. So like, to give a metaphor, to give an analogy, like if a person who fishes with his hand, like he can catch 10 fish per hour. So he starts catching fish, he gets 10 fish per hour, and the other person, he spends the first hour to build a fishing rod, and that fishing rod will allow him to gain 20 fish per hour later. So the first person has a high time preference. He wants that fish now, so he goes out finding fish. So he gets 10 fishes in the first hour. But the second guy, the first hour, he does not get any fish. But after that, he uses his fishing rod. He gets double the amount of fish from the first guy.
Yes.
So this is important in Bitcoin. You need to have a low time preference, meaning currently you are just accumulating sats. You are focusing on building your capital so you can have a better future with that built up capital. So that's the beauty of Bitcoin, because it is such a sound and hard money, and it is so scarce that over the long run, price would definitely go up because everyone wants a piece of it. So right now, if you just stack sats, you will get a better gains in the future, because currently you are working, you are delaying your gratification, you are working to build your capital, and when you have that hard and sound money under you, you will actually live a more comfortable life knowing that you are holding something so strong.
Yes.
Something that cannot be taken away from you, something that cannot be debased by the government, like the fiat currency. Like
Yes.
if you hold fiat currency, you hold 1,000 ringgit this year, government print more money, next year it becomes 900 ringgit. That doesn't make sense. That
Yes.
causes a longer time preference. That is fiat thinking.
Yes.
So if you learn about Bitcoin and you learn about delaying gratification, you will understand that building capital now and delaying gratification is important.
Yeah,
So,
because delaying gratification is one of those things that build a better civilization. Because when you have a low type preference, you tend to invest rather than to spend it, right? So that build more capital and more people get wealthier because of that. So yeah, instant gratification is just maybe for entertainment is a part of the game to get that capital because they find it valuable in that. But for the sake of the civilization, I think you're right. The Bitcoin changed the long time preference, because we need to change the civilization to the better.
And also, when you stack Bitcoin, you have a low time preference. You are not only creating wealth for yourself, but you are creating wealth for your next generation. You want to build something for your children, for your children's children. When you are holding a hard asset, hard money like Bitcoin, that can be passed on to generations. So that's the beauty of Bitcoin.
Exactly. Yeah, that's that's the beauty of Bitcoin. I mean, since your Twitter account Stack said, do you have any proper strategy for DCA? Because DCA is interesting, but it's not easy, right? It's the simplest thing, but it's not easy because we need to hold and we need to have high conviction to the asset. Do you have any I know it's not financial advice. I will list a disclaimer. It's not financial advice, but from your perspective, what's your take?
From my perspective, I think the most important thing you have to invest, like not only money in Bitcoin, you have to invest your time to learn about Bitcoin. So you have to read up everything you find about Bitcoin, all the ideologies, all the ethos, the technology itself. Because the more you learn, the more you will be convinced, the more you will have conviction of the asset. And when you have that conviction, I think it's easy. It's very easy. For me, every time I have money, I just buy. I don't look at the price, I buy. Smash buy. Just keep stacking sats. But also, for me, making money is fun, like it's good, but you also need to allocate some for yourself to keep yourself happy, because moral in life is important. You want to be happy, you want to keep your mental health all good. So you need to spend some for yourself too. Not splurge, not just keep spending, waste all your money. Those things that are beneficial to you. Like for me, I just got on an aquarium hobby. I keep fish. Yeah, so that's
you went from vacation, right, recently?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I went on vacation and I got some snails and fish to put into my aquarium. So that's besides making money, you also need to put a little for life also lah. Because you are already holding Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin is not going away unless you sell it. So you are holding hard money. You just it's like a savings account basically for me. I'm just putting my savings in there, and I know it'll go up in. Basically, I target 2024 at least. It will go really high because it's the next halving, right? So just DCA. I always tell all new people coming to me, they all DM me like, how do I start? How do I buy Bitcoin? How do I play Bitcoin?
Exactly.
I would say, yeah, just buy it and hold it and learn about it. That's the most important thing. You have to learn about it, because if you don't understand Bitcoin, you will be easily affected. You read online, or they say it's bad for the environment, then you're gonna feel like, oh no. And then, but if you truly understand it, you realize that it fixes all these problems and not create more problems.
Exactly, because that's the hardest money ever invented. I understand your point of view. So maybe I will like ask your thread on Twitter. Can I share my screen now? Wait.
Okay, sure.
Wait. Did you see? Do you see the screen?
Oh yes, yeah, I see.
Yeah, because you shared the thread. Before I ask the question, can you educate people on and your followers about the inflation, right? I mean, not inflation. I mean, like your thread on Twitter, because you focus on Bitcoin. And I mean, like I know the purpose is education. I mean, like any other else that you wanna elaborate on your thread, because it's quite clear, right? If one thread is all about Bitcoin education, all Bitcoin education, right?
Well, basically, when I first got into Bitcoin, I realized that I see there's a lacking of Malaysian Bitcoin content.
Exactly.
Like I searched on YouTube, it was all Western people, UK and US, and like I found like where are all these Malays? Like, so I'm not. I thought of opening up a YouTube, but I don't have the equipment or anything yet. So I just changed my Twitter into a Bitcoin account because I like to write also. So before this, I also wrote other contents. But when I found out about Bitcoin, I realized that there is a lot of things that you can write on Bitcoin, because it involves a lot of things, right? It involves technology, it involves the history of money, it involves economy, the human social, the way humans interact. So there are a lot of things that you can write, and I think writing about Bitcoin is the best way to educate people, because like to educate on Twitter, I mean, because like you need to read if you want to learn. So and by writing, I am also advancing my own knowledge on it. Like I understand it better. So basically that's it. I want to learn and I want to share what I learn.
Yeah, because it's like a trade also, right? I mean, like you know, everything in this world is a trade once you understand Bitcoin. Because when you read, you also like write, right? When you write, you read. Yeah, that's the beauty of the interchangeable energy, like I said on the Twitter. Because I understand the point of view, but in Indonesia, it's not a lot, you know, because people just you know doing for the sake of money, not really looking at price of Bitcoin. They just find it like easy way to get rich. Well, that's not really tough. Right? I mean, the point of Bitcoin is just the hardest money, right? But on Twitter, Indonesia on Twitter is less than on Instagram, you know, because in Instagram, people in Indonesia have a tendency or not on Twitter because of they only capture image on Instagram, not really doing you know reading and listening and writing. So that's why it's not popular Twitter on in Indonesia, you know. That's why I create a YouTube channel, not the Twitter, you know.
I see. But I have a few Indonesians following me too. Maybe because you followed me. So
exactly. That's why. That's the beauty of it, you know. Even though like still some people on in Indonesia also write on Twitter, but the most of it is still on Instagram, you know. But Instagram is only for people who like the content with the videos, and that's why when you see the other influencer in Indonesia talking about Bitcoin, they just put it on Instagram, you know, because nobody watch on Twitter. That's why it's really hard to grasp the audience in here. That's why when I do tweet in here, not really catching so much attention. That's why. That's. But it's education, you know. It's part of the education, you know. Even though like you don't really have time to. I mean, no. I mean, like if you don't have Instagram, you don't want to use Instagram, just use Twitter. I think the algorithm will say so. I mean, like when you use Twitter a lot, the algorithm will run, and your post will be the top search or the list of the what is called the interest. The interest, That's
That's true. But Twitter is a fun place to share about to share threads basically, and I write threads because it's easier to digest compared to longer form articles. I'm not saying that we don't read much, but if you compare Malaysians, I don't know about Indonesian, but if you compare Malaysians and to Western countries like US, like they read more, like all their websites and all their articles. They are a lot of them read basically. But in Malaysia, I think they prefer to read threads rather than a blog, because I also have a blog. But Twitter is easier because you make it short form, you make it sharp and concise, and you can share it to a larger audience.
That's the beauty of Twitter, you know. But it's kind of sad thing when Jack Dorsey left Twitter for Bitcoin. I think because the Twitter is not gonna be the same again, you know, because the surveillance company try to monetize and monopoly, and it's not really good in many ways, right? So censor this, censor that.
That's why he left, because Jack is good also because now he can focus on Bitcoin. He's a smart guy.
Yes, exactly.
And, he's gonna be good for Bitcoin because he's a full-on Bitcoin maximalist. He never talks about other cryptocurrencies.
Yes.
So we know he's on Bitcoin side and he'll do good for Bitcoin.
Yeah, he also rebranded the name Square, right, to Spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah, then for the
That's
sake
quite
of Bitcoin, you know, the spiral is just the chart that the rabbit hole. Yeah.
Yeah, the
That's,
growth of Bitcoin chart. Yeah, that was cool.
yeah, this Bitcoin adoption. Yeah, that's a very good thing. I mean, like, I will ask the question of your thread. I mean, like, you mentioned about the Meltcafe law. I mean, like, can you share a little bit more about yeah, what it's all about?
Oh, the Metcalfe's law.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the Metcalfe's law it explains that the value of a network grows in accordance to the square number of participants. Wait, I can't actually remember. But
Yes.
basically, it means that as more and more people uses the network, they get on the network, then the value of the network will also follow that.
Yes.
So it's actually it's not a linear curve. It's not a linear curve, but it is an exponential curve.
Yeah, I know the chart. Yeah.
So yeah, so meaning that it will start slowly and then suddenly. So
Yes.
we are still waiting for that hyper-Bitcoinization when
Yeah.
everyone jumps on board.
Yes.
So right now we are slowly getting there because this year we already have one country holding Bitcoin, and that's a beautiful thing. And they even got a Bitcoin bond
Yes.
over 5 years, which they will build Bitcoin City, and it is backed by Bitcoin mining by a volcano. Like
Yes.
if you think about that 10 years ago, you would not say that it's possible.
Yes.
But
Exactly.
today it is possible. Like
Yes.
El Salvador will get a lot of financial help with Bitcoin, and they can build their country with Bitcoin.
Yes.
So about Metcalfe's law, it's basically it's a network. Bitcoin is a network, and more
Yes.
people jump on the network, and the price will go up.
Yes.
And it is confirmed that more people will join the network because Bitcoin has shown that it is the most resistant asset. Even when China banned it, even when 50% of miners, like China used to have the most miners in the world, and they
Yes.
all have had to move out of
Yes.
China. Even when they shut down nearly half of the hash rate, Bitcoin is still running and still going strong near its all-time high. So people will see over time, wow, Bitcoin is not going anywhere. The
Yes.
price is continuing to go up. So,
Yes.
if you don't get into it now, you are going to get into it later, next year or the year after.
Yes.
So that's what I said to my friends, like when I asked them all to buy Bitcoin. I said, every single year I say to myself, oh, I should have bought Bitcoin last year. But this time I'm not gonna say that. I want to buy it now. So that's
Yes.
about
Exactly.
Bitcoin. Yeah. Finally
Yeah.
making the jump. That's the hardest part actually, making that
Yeah.
jump.
Medical law is, yeah, it's not really applied to Bitcoin as well. Right? I mean, like the internet, you know, the invention of the internet is quite the same as Bitcoin, you know, because people are quite skeptical at the very beginning, and once they do understand the value, and the price is skyrocketing, you know, like dot-com bubble is the very early 20s, 2000, and the bubble, the dot-com bubble pop. And then yeah, after that it's just like the Nike chart, you know. It's all the high, it's never going down. Yeah, I think Bitcoin will have the same manner when Bitcoin happened, Bitcoinization happened, you know. We don't really have we don't really need to have 80% crash again, yeah, bear market again. Yeah, I know when it comes to investing, there is no this time is different. There's nothing that, but yeah, there is always possibility. Right?
True. I don't know about markets, but I think it's
Yeah,
harder
exactly.
now to crash 80% crash. I think it's harder now. because of all the adoption, like not only retail adoption, but also institutional adoption. And with Bitcoin ETFs, and also a country holding Bitcoin, and there's also companies like MicroStrategy, and many private companies holding Bitcoin. I don't know. I think it's hard for it to crash, but even if it crashes, then that's something to celebrate for me, because I can buy more at a
Yes,
cheaper
exactly,
price.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we are looking we're not looking to cash out tomorrow. We're not looking to cash out next week or next year. I'm looking to hold until the whole world uses Bitcoin.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's the point of Bitcoin, right? For Bitcoinization. And yeah, once the people understand the value, they will just Bitcoin voluntarily. Yeah, that's the point of market, because the beauty of Bitcoin, is some people say, oh, you're close-minded, you don't have a pre-market. Bitcoin is number one because of pre-market, right? Because the winners take all, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't really understand the value. That's why the market stay the same.
Yeah, it's true. You have to understand the value, not based on the market, but you understand the value of the network itself, understand the technology, the how it is the strongest foundation for an internet money. Because of the creation itself, like there is no CEO compared to other coins, like Ethereum has Vitalik, ADA has Roy Hodgkinson. So all these people, they can have an influence on the network. They can change the monetary policy at any time, like how Ethereum has changed itself many times. But Bitcoin, it never changes. Code is law. That's why there are Bitcoin maximalists that some people say toxic, but I think they are also important to the network, because they help people understand like how Bitcoin is actually the most decentralized, the most immutable,
Yes,
uh, and the most important coin basically in cryptocurrency. Like a
yes.
lot of people don't understand that. They see Bitcoin as an old coin that has slow
Yeah.
growth, but slow is the best when it is only going up compared to other coins that may outperform Bitcoin this year, but next year we don't know where they are. Like,
Yeah, cool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the part of it, because I think that's the time will tell. We don't know. Until then, we just they hope they're the best, right? I mean, like you cannot change the people's mind, right? Like they judge us, oh, you maximalist, you close-minded. Yeah, time will tell. Yeah, we just educate people, right? Just you did about you create a thread on Twitter. I think that's a very good thing, even though it's still, we're still in mass adoption, right? So
yep. And not only do I talk about Bitcoin itself, I also talk about history of money. Like if you see one of my other threads about
yes,
hard versus soft money,
yes,
yeah, this
this
guy.
one.
So this is something important to learn when you are learning Bitcoin, because you have to understand how money is made and what kind of money there are before we had gold, before we had our current fiat currency.
Yes,
So over history, there are many kinds of money. They use salt, they use
yes,
seashells, they use these stone rocks, these Yap Island coins. So it's very interesting to understand. So the story of this coin, it's a coin in an island. So the people at this island uses this coin to pay, like for large events, like they are getting married. So I give you this coin.
yes,
But they use this as money because it is hard to make. For
yes,
them, they have to travel, they have to bring it all the way from another island, they have to sculpt it. So for them, it's hard money. But when a Westerner came and they had better technology, they
yes,
easily made these coins. And suddenly, uh, the money had no more value in the country, in the island, because there was a lot of these coins, because it is so easy to be made. Before that
Yes.
it was hard, now it's easy. So that's basically what fiat money is. It is too easy for the banks to create more money. They could
Yes.
just lower interest rates, make people borrow money,
Yes.
and so they could print more. And when more money comes into circulation, the money that we worked hard to save is getting less and less of its value.
Yes.
So yeah, so that government intervention actually is bad for us.
Exactly.
So yeah, so Bitcoin, that problem doesn't exist, because
Yeah.
Bitcoin, oh, we already know there's only going to be 21 million, and only this fixed amount will be produced over this amount of time. So
Yes.
there is a what is called stock to flow ratio.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the better money. And if you understand the history of money, you understand that money can change, then you can understand that it's logical for money to change again, because
Yes.
fiat money is bad and we want good money, we have to change to a better system.
Yes. Exactly. I mean, like the fiat founder from Severdinamus said that, the fiat legacy and status quo is not really the same over time. I mean, like you got Posterly as used to be a reserve status once a long time ago, but right now it becomes the US dollar. Right? I mean, like the status quo change over time. So that's why I understand your point of view. We need to change that into the hardest money ever invented, and then I think Bitcoin will be the standard, as a reserve currency. But let's see. We never know the future, but I understand point of view. Yeah.
That's true. Because back in the days, early 1900s, before that they were using money based on gold. So it was really one-to-one. You
Yes.
give this amount of money, you will get this amount of gold. They won't print more. They actually started when World War One. They had to go to war. So war requires money. So they had to print money. So when it became too easy, like they just printed more money. They learned that there was an easy way out. You don't need to uh, hold this amount of gold to produce this amount of money. So they basically said, just leave the gold, we just print more money to make it easier for them.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a very bad system lah for me. Like, and they took up the Keynes economics. So
Yeah.
they followed
Keynesians.
Keynesian, sorry, the
Yeah.
Keynesian economics idea, which is the government controls the money, compared to Austrian economics, which
Austria.
says that government intervention in money is bad.
Yes. Yeah, that's that, I don't know. Maybe people say that it doesn't rule by anyone, and and have the CEO of that. And some people say it's haram, right? I mean, like in your country, is it still haram or not?
In Malaysia, Bitcoin is halal, but I think Indonesia, they said it's haram, because I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
Indonesia
That's
is plan.
why.
It's because I think it's for the government to protect the Indonesian rupiah, and
Yeah.
I heard that Indonesian rupiah is going to come up with a CBDC.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think macro situation, like some countries will favor CBDCs like China, Indonesia, and some countries would just go into Bitcoin. That's what I think basically,
Yeah.
because countries like China, they want to control they want to control their people. They want to ensure that they can monitor the people how they spend. So they want to protect their currency.
Yes.
But some countries like El Salvador, which are smaller, more developing nation, I think these smaller countries like El Salvador, like many Central American countries, Venezuela,
Yeah.
I think they will gravitate more towards Bitcoin because their own currency is so weak.
Yes.
They don't have a strong currency and they use USD most of the time. So if they turn to Bitcoin, that will be very useful for them to make it as their money.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
I
but
pity Indonesia because they said it's haram.
yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't have to. Yeah, it is around because yeah, the government, not really the government, you know, the MUI, you know, is part of what is it? Ministry of the religion in here, who say that Bitcoin have no intrinsic value and it have horror and is not really tradable as a currency. And yeah, that's why I don't know. Maybe they say that because they understand the value of the Bitcoin because they want to protect the rupiah, like you said before. That's why it's kind of hard, you know, to understand. Maybe they some of the people in there already got into Bitcoin, but I'm not sure. But it's not really, a debate, you know, about the Isaram because I know it's part of our government because government have responsibility to the guard when you say something halal or haram. But at the end of the day, we made the decision for ourselves, right? I mean, yeah, it's the topic for other day. Yeah, just my perspective, you know.
Yeah, government, they want to protect their interests basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they can say something is halal, something is haram. Like even you give an example in Malaysia, there's a hot topic right now about Islamic banking. How Islamic banking is riba. Some people say it's riba, and then some people would protect the Islamic banking because they have all these Islamic terms. But basically, it's just the same process as borrowing from a conventional bank. So
Yes.
governments would come out with laws that will give the best interest for them.
Yeah.
So it is best that you study yourself whether something is haram or not haram. Like you look at other scholars. Like there are many scholars that say Bitcoin is halal.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just because your government says haram doesn't mean it's 100% haram. You have to look for the truth yourself nowadays.
Yeah, because Bitcoin is math, right? You cannot change, yeah, math. I don't know. Mathematics is just a law, right? I mean, like thermodynamic dynamic law, and then is combined by the algorithmic and also the geometry. Yeah, that's part of
Yeah.
Bitcoin, right? I mean, you cannot change the equation, right? So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the code is law. You cannot change anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the argument for it being haram is because everything is you buy what you get what you buy, and everything is clear. There are um, no things like riba. Like I don't understand why they would say it's haram.
Yeah, because they say like it's intangible and yeah, people the like GoPay or Grab. It's a it's also intangible, right? That's it doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, when it comes, it's too volatile. It's goror. Yeah, it's too volatile because people don't understand the value. Once they do understand the value, Bitcoin will be stable and more stable than gold because yeah, the hyperbitcoinization happened, right? So I don't know.
True.
People still. I agree with you because the interest is still there, but let's see lah. Maybe before, I mean, like in Malaysia, maybe 2 years ago or before, is it Arab or not? People, I mean, like the government makes a U-turn or not? I mean, like in Indonesia, still haram from time to time.
Yeah.
What about Malaysia?
I think in Malaysia, initially, like wait, I'm not actually too sure. I'm not actually too sure, but currently it's halal with the 5 other cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, and Bitcoin Cash, I think, because it's legal. You can buy it on our exchanger, Malaysian exchanger, which is Luno. So I think I'm not too sure about the history, whether before this it was haram or halal.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm not too sure about that.
yeah, that's about the Haram or halal. I mean, yeah, it's debatable. Even the government still debate to the exchanger whether it's halal or not, because some people have a conflict of interest, like you said before. That's why I really understand that. So I mean, like yeah, before yeah, it's been an hour already. It's just a no financial advice. You have any price prediction for Bitcoin?
Price prediction.
Yeah, for like next 2 years, or yeah, it's I don't know. It's just fun for fun, not financial advice.
Yeah. I think it'll at least reach the market cap of gold by the next halving, I think. But I don't know. I like to think that in 2030 it will be at least 1 million per Bitcoin. Because I think 10 now is 2032. I think 8 years is sufficient time for the whole world to catch up. So by 2030, 1 million USD per coin. So because it's a number go up, technology is definitely going to go up as more and more people buy it. And when it gets more scarce, when the Bitcoin happens in 2024, so if for that Bitcoin is going to be at least 1 million by 2030, what will you do? You just keep stacking sats, just buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. I know it's just for fun, you know. I mean, like I don't know, you know. Even though Bitcoin hits 1 million, I think it's going to go up again, you know, because the winners takes all. I mean, the weaker currency like yeah, other than US dollar will be obsolete, you know, by the free market, and then they gonna adopt Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will be the standard.
Yeah. And also because Bitcoin is a very good Trojan horse, like how Bitcoin looks like it's harmless. People only see how you can make money with Bitcoin. So like governments will also take Bitcoin because they see you can make money of Bitcoin. But the end goal of Bitcoin is actually to separate money from state. So that's the idea. So that's the goal. We want to separate money from state. So we use free money that is basically has no owner, no one can change it.
Yes.
And everyone can use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the power of it, you know. I mean, like, do you believe that Bitcoinization, hyper Bitcoinization truly happens one day, or just is just self-fulfilling prophecy? Because the politician will not give the power, right?
I think it will definitely happen because governments have been too carefree with printing money. You see, in this pandemic situation, like anytime there's a crisis, they just print. So as governments collect more debt, they print more money. People will see that, oh, our money is not going to last. Like if we hold it, if we keep holding cash, then we're going to lose value. So people will look for something to protect themselves. And Bitcoin is that thing. Bitcoin is that life raft for people. So it's better to get on it now rather than later.
Yes, exactly. It's quite ironic, you know, to see that people, I mean, like the central bank print money out of thin air, where all of a sudden people are striving hard to to seek for money. I think that's very, you know, it's not ethical, you know. I don't know. Maybe it's just a part of the game, but I think the game is quite rigged, you know.
I don't know. Yeah, the game is rigged for the rich because even if they print money, that money doesn't get to us straight away. New money gets to their friends, to the politicians, to politicians' friends, to capitalists. That is the cantillon effect. The people closest to the government will get the freshest money first, and our savings are going to be taken away because of
Yeah.
their printing. Even in Malaysia right now, do you know all the vegetable price has gone up? Some has gone more than double.
Yes.
So
Same.
it's more profitable to hold vegetable than the fiat.
Yeah. That's why, you know, it's the government will be obsolete, maybe. I mean, like the separation money and the state. I mean, do you think like the hyperinflation country like Zimbabwe or the uh, Venezuela will adopt also Bitcoin because they have authoritarian government, right? I mean, they don't want to give a power. That's why even though their currency is weaker, but they don't want to give their power, you know.
Sorry, was a bit stuck. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
get
yeah.
the question.
Can I repeat my question? Sorry, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I repeat my question. Yeah, it's just you know, some politicians didn't give their power, right? Because of, yeah, even though the currency hyperinflating, and some people, some countries like Zimbabwe or Venezuela, who have authoritarian countries, they don't just don't give out the power, right? Even the currency is just shit.
Oh yeah.
Can you elaborate that what you say when yeah, separate money from the state? Because when Hyperbitcoinization, I mean, like it's a silent protest, like to the government. You don't really, yeah, change the government, but the government will bankrupt itself, right?
Yeah. Uh, I give an example. The Turkish lira has gone down a lot over the
Ah,
past
yeah.
month, right? Yeah, and Erdogan has stated that he is on a war against Bitcoin. He will not accept Bitcoin. So
Yes.
the president has said that, but the people they have actually turned more towards Bitcoin. Like I
Yeah.
read that the people of Turkey are more and more interested in Bitcoin because the currency is falling apart. So even though governments say that okay, we are at a war against Bitcoin, but the people still has the power to buy. No one can stop them. How can
Yeah.
one stop people from buying and holding Bitcoin? They can't because it's like the internet. If you have the internet, then you have the access to get Bitcoin.
Exactly.
So yeah, so the people has the power with Bitcoin, not governments, not politicians, and
Yes.
not central banks. We can all take our own initiative. If we don't trust our government, then you should buy Bitcoin. As easy as that. So
Yes.
people
Exactly.
will learn over time,
Yeah. I mean,
especially if
like,
they see El Salvador doing well. Then I think people will FOMO into that. Like other countries and people, they see El Salvador doing well, they would want that as well, and they would get into the game as well. And that's the game theory.
yes, exactly. Yeah, the game theory, winner takes all, right? I mean, that's the beauty of the capitalism, pure capitalism. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like, yeah, some people will jump into Bitcoin boat and make some government obsolete. Maybe the government cannot ban Bitcoin because of Bitcoin is just pure math, but they just can make it harder, you know, by CBDC. You know, when CBDC you
yeah,
cannot transfer your money, convert your money to fiat again. Maybe, yeah, because the restriction is directly from central bank, right? But I don't know. People just use local Bitcoin, right? I mean, yeah, just peer to peer is make it harder for government to track, right? So I think, yeah, that's the beauty of Bitcoin.
yeah. CBDC will slow down the progress of Bitcoin maybe.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, Bitcoin will still win, I think, because it's still the hardest money. Even with CBDC, they can still, if they use the same economic system, if they still can print more money, then it's still the same basically. There's no difference. The government still controls the production of the money. And if you compare it to Bitcoin, it's still very different.
yeah.
So people can see that.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, the CBDC is make it government easier, to track your record of your transaction. And then when they don't like, the surveillance company, I mean, like when they don't like you, they can ban you from the existence, you cannot transact anything. That's why you can, your net worth will be wiped up in a second when you have CBDC, your net worth, your net worth in CBDC. That's why people don't really understand the value of privacy also, because we take it for granted, privacy these days, by, a vision social media platform like Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
They sell our data to the advertisement, that's they make their money. And then there is no such thing like freelance, what's the that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you don't want to be like you don't want to be like China, where the country, where the leaders control everything the population do. China is a worst example in this, because they are a communist country and they have a social credit system where they want the people to behave. So hopefully people will see that government surveillance is not good and you need privacy, and Bitcoin allows compared to CBDCs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hope so, because the world is going into the direction, and hopefully the adoption will faster than the CBDC to get released, because when the Bitcoin Hyperbitcoinitation faster than CBDC release, I think the answer is quite clear. Bitcoin is the standard, but if CBDC faster getting released, I think it's slower the adoption. Yeah, like you said before, I agree.
Yeah. It will be a new opponent for Bitcoin, but of course Bitcoin win.
Yeah,
So just
I don't know,
keep
maybe.
stacking sets for me.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe people find it like pros and cons, and it's surveillance. What is it? App when you like when you don't get vaccinated, for example, you cannot trade anything with CBDC, because you don't have the passport of the vaccination. Maybe people have their argument about that. There's pros and cons about the vaccine, but that's the world is moving towards that right now.
Yeah. At the end of the day, surveillance is bad. We want freedom, and Bitcoin is freedom.
Yeah, that's Bitcoin is freedom. Yeah, that's that's the good point, and nice last word. So I think it's been an hour already. Thank you, Ipan, for coming. Nice to see you. Maybe in the next part, I will invite you again when Bitcoin hit 100K. We never know. We'll ask somebody else. I think once if I go to Malaysia, I will let you know, right?
Definitely. If you come to Malaysia, or if I come to Jakarta, I will definitely find you. We can talk more. Thank you for inviting me. I don't know if I said anything of value. I hope like I brought something good to your podcast. I hope your podcast succeeds, as well as Bitcoin. And yes, I hope we can work together again in the future.
Yes, exactly. Leave a like and subscribe to our channel, guys.